Yeah. Okay. So I thought it was sometimes the win's more important than the performance, but I think I thought the performance was outstanding. Uh, we the message that we said after the game was that's just our first win in the season. Was it game six? Game six? Yeah, it's been a long six. It's the first win in the season. We shouldn't get carried away. We shouldn't be going out on the town tonight. We should just be focusing on the next game against Seattle. We've got a hell of a lot of work to do. And what I think you saw today was a reflection of what we're trying to build. 18, 18 players in the squad, 18 players that were just all fighting for each other. That whoever got on was fighting for each other, that stuck to the game plan, that we spoke before the game about the reflection. The last 4 or 5 games hasn't been a reflection of as me as a head coach, but also a reflection of what we want to this football club, and that is more important than me as a head coach. So we spoke a lot about what we want to be reflected of, and the basic things in football is what we saw on that pitch today. A team that played with freedom, a team that played with togetherness, and a team that was never ever going to be beat with those qualities. And I'm proud of every single one of them in the squad, and the players that weren't in the squad supported us throughout the week. And that victory has felt a long time coming. But I think we've been consistent in our messages in terms of sort of like the building process. The building process, we've seen 20 minutes here, 15 minutes there, glimpses from Campagna, glimpses from Robbie and Bryce Duke. And what you saw today was a little bit more complete, but nowhere near 100%. But I hope everybody went away today thinking, dear me, that was more of a reflection of what we wanted to see as an Inter Miami team.
If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get started with Michelle Kaufman, then Franco Panizo.
So I know you said you don't want to get carried away, but we can hear the happiness in that room. Can you just talk about, what's the feeling in that room right now? What was your feeling at the end?
Well, I suppose relief. I suppose relief has to come into it, and that's like a desperate word. But I say every Thursday or Friday, whenever we do our press conferences, how much this group of players want to win, how much this group of players want to have a little bit of success. They work harder than any other group I've ever coached, than the most honest group probably that I've ever coached, along with the Lionesses that I had. They're similar to those girls that I coached for the Lionesses, where they just want to work. And when you work, they want to work more. And eventually you will get your rewards. And I could see it in their eyes after the last game against Houston. They were hurting badly. And what we've done this week, we've given them a lot of love and encouragement, and I think that's important to the modern player. And they've been outstanding today, and it is relief, because you just don't know when it's coming, you just don't know when it's going to turn, and today is just a little, we say, the first brick in the foundation.
Next question, Franco.
Phil, if I could ask you 2 quick ones. What does the win mean for you? It might be repetitive from the last question, but what does it mean for you? The cameras caught your celebration. Obviously, it seems like it means a lot. And the second one, just on Leonardo, who scores the first hat trick in team history. What did he provide up there? Obviously, the goals, but what else did he provide up there for you?
Well, it's his moment. I've got to say, it's his moment. I watched him play for Ecuador under 20s in the FIFA under 20 World Cup. There's a player in there, and you see by the size of him, the sheer physicality of him, that he's got everything that you would need from an I'd say a good old fashioned centre forward. And I think those types, you look at the guy that came on from New England, Altidore, who's had a brilliant career in this league. I think there's similarities there in terms of size and shape, and he's a young kid. You think about his goal at Austin was a brilliant goal. It's 4 goals. Lassiter, Campagna, Higuain, Taylor, Robinson, Motta, Duke. If we can get 4 or 5 goals from all those 7 players, we will be a very, very good team. And really at the moment, there's only 2 players scored. So I really like him. He knows I believe in him. And was I happy at the end? I was happy at the end for them. We because they're my guys, they're my boys, and I believe in them, and I've never stopped believing in them. And today, I think there was just a little glimpse of what we can do. And I've got to say, I thought Mabika played really well today.
Next question, back.
Hey Phil. Of course, all the headlines are gonna go to Campana, but I feel like a player that played probably the best game with Inter Miami was Robbie Robinson today. The way he opens up the field for the team, how key is Robbie Robinson for this team to continue winning?
He's key.
Next question, Andrea.
And I think you'll know why I'm just saying that, because I think he's got so much to give. Done?
No, next question, Andrea here.
What, milk it? Is that what you're saying? Got a wedding to get to here.
Hi, you said no party. Hi, Phil. I wanted to ask you about the change when Noah Allen came in. What did you see in the game that made you change the formation, basically, to maybe maintain the result or be a little bit more attacking? Can you explain that change to us?
Well, they lost their left back. They went to a 3, which I felt as if they were just getting in down the sides a little bit and spreading our fullbacks and our back 4. You know, DeAndre and Chris were just jumping out a little bit, which was, you know, creating gaps. And that's probably where the goal came from a little bit, with our back 4 was a little bit stretched. And so I just thought about going to a back 3. McVeigh's natural in there. Noah, I think at the moment, that's probably his best position, allowing him to get forward. And I think he had his best game when he came on. And it released DeAndre a little bit and meant that we got 2 centre forwards to put more pressure on their centre backs, or their 3 centre backs. So that was the tactical change, really.
Next question, Mike DiPasquale on the call.
Congratulations, Phil, on a hard-fought win. Campana has been saying that he wants to be one of your leaders for this club, not only to score goals, but to show his country he's worthy to represent them in the upcoming World Cup. Did you say anything to him this week? And on the broadcast, we noticed a lot of his teammates were hugging him. It was very affectionate. Did you give him a big hug after the game too?
Yeah, I did. And I met him when he was coming here just to look around the place. The first thing he said, I want to go to the World Cup. I said, well, you join this football club and we'll get you there. So he works so hard. He knows what he has to work on. He's an intelligent boy from a really good family of, I think, the sporting background in his family as well. So he knows how to behave as a professional. He's a top professional. When you look at him, sometimes you think he's 28, when really he's only 21. So you know, I think after the first game against Chicago, I think the thing that we really worked on, we got one of the young centre backs, Modesto, who's a little tiger. We just kept saying, just keep going from behind him, and just keep going from behind him, because we wanted to tough him up, and because that's what this MLS needs, and that works, paying dividends. We're toughing him up, we're making him more intense, because his finishing is of the top order, and you know, I think I see a really good player in there, and you know, I think what makes me really believe in him is the work that he puts in.
Next question, Michelle Kaufman, then Phil West.
Phil, Gonzalo was missing, and the team really did seem, at least, to play more confident and more free without him there. I just wanted you to comment on that. Do you think they played differently with him in and without him?
Well, I think what you see and I think you see it in a lot in this league, is that there's massive pressure on a DP, and when the DP's playing, there's almost an excuse. Oh, he's not doing it, so I'm okay. So I said to him today that, like, look, guys, can't point any fingers now. If we lose the game, you can't point any fingers at Gonzalo. It's deliver time, because that's what happens. You know, you take your DP out of the team, and now you can't hide behind the DP that earns all the money. Because that I hear that a lot in this league. Oh, he earns all the money. He's got to win us a game of football. And I say it myself sometimes. So I think that was good for the team in terms of they had to grow up. And I think the freedom came because they had to grow up. You know, it was almost like we let them off the leash, took the leash off them. They had to grow up. They had to communicate with each other. When there was a free kick or a corner kick, they couldn't just look over, where's Gonzalo? Oh. Yeah, I think as a club we do. And you know, when things don't go well, that the expectation gets on top of the DP as well, Gonzalo. So today it's a no excuse game. I'm going to see everything that I wanted to see in this game today from the players that we brought in, and I think that's what we saw. We saw a team that was free. We saw a team that had their shackles off because they had to grow up. You know.
Next question, Phil West, then Ian Hest.
Yeah, and just following from that, does that give you kind of pause or maybe reason to kind of contemplate when Gonzalo is available back for selection? Do you see him maybe as someone who might be more of a super sub role rather than an inked-in starter?
Well, I think it's a bit early for that question. I think I'm hoping for next week we're going to have Gonzalo, Victor Ulloa, Jovin Jones is playing for the MLS2 tomorrow. I'm hoping to have all my experienced players back. We need them all. We've got 3 games next week. We go to Seattle on Thursday. We get back Sunday night, and we're playing in a US Open Cup game on Tuesday. We've got 24 hours to recover from a 3-hour time difference and a 6-7 hour flight. So we're going to need all our players. And, I'm excited to get the squad back together. Bryce Dukes had to be really, really patient. We had a choice between him or Mo Adams to go on today, and I just felt that we just had that freedom where we said, put the kid on. The kid's going to be a real top player, and he went on and set up the goal and did well. So we're going to need everybody, Gonzalo especially. I think it'd be stupid for us to sit here today and say we can say goodbye to Gonzalo. Gonzalo's a big part of this football club. We pay, and he's got a massive contract to this football club for him to deliver. He's part of a group of players that we need.
Next question, Ian Hess.
Hey Phil, how are you? Sorry I couldn't be there. Thank you, Rafa. Phil, I guess I just ask
Why did you not come to the
about
game?
what?
Are you at the wedding?
Oh yeah. Good.
Why did you not come to the game?
I'm on the road, so
Oh, nice.
I'm sorry. Yes, I apologize. I was curious as to the idea of last year and the game that happened against Rebs and how you felt about that compared to this year, and how you would understand the difference in the performance of your squad and where you see this team as opposed to where it was at this time last year.
Yeah, well, I think we thought more about the second game we played against them, to be fair, Ian, about the game away when they were the champions, and we went there without Gonzalo again, and we won. So there were certain characteristics in that game that really, really served us well. So my thought process over the last 24 hours is that togetherness and spirit from that game. Now, if you look back to the game at home when they beat us 5-0, you saw a team that was probably at their real top. You're thinking about the number of goals that they scored last year. Today we played them without Buxer, without Bo, without maybe a couple of more players. Maybe they weren't as strong, or they're not as good at the moment. But any Bruce Arena team is a top team in this league. I spoke to him for an hour before the game. I absolutely love the man. He knows exactly how to win in this football league, sorry. And when they scored the first goal, it was like how we were going to respond. Last year we didn't respond. We played well for 20 minutes, then we conceded. And we couldn't take the first punch. Today, we took the first punch and bounced back straight away, and then took the lead, which gave us incredible confidence. Scoring a goal from out from normal play, and then a second one was I thought was a big turning point. When this team gets on a roll of scoring goals, I think I've mentioned before, them 5-6 players, they can contribute 5-6 goals each. Last year we had Oli Gonzalo scoring. Nobody else came close. And if we can get 5-6 players on 5, 6, 7 goals, then we're going to be a playoff team.
Next question, Steve.
Jeez, how was this? Yeah, the only sad thing today is that the owners weren't here. Maybe that's the problem. No, but they weren't here to share in the victory, because I know that they've been hurting. They're so passionate. They've been hurting. They kick every ball with us. Me and Chris, obviously, we speak to them every single day nearly, and they desperately want this club to do well. But what they want to see on the field what they saw today. They want goals. They want action. They want excitement, because we want the crowds in here, and that's really important. And pardon? No.
Thank you, Coach.